The laughter felt like shards of glass in my ears. Forks clinked, wine glasses tilted, and my father's voice cut through it all. 30 years old, no husband, no kids? What does it feel like to be a failure? His words were coated in mockery, but the sting was deliberate. The others, my cousins, my aunt, laughed like obedient puppets. I didn't laugh. I didn't even flinch. I cut my steak slowly, let the knife glide through the meat. My pulse didn't rise, my hands didn't shake. Because tonight wasn't just dinner. It was the last act of a play I'd been directing for months. I looked up, met his eyes, and said, "What does it feel like that this failure is about to stop paying your bills?" The laughter stopped. 2. It's strange. People assume revenge starts with rage. It doesn't. It starts with silence. 2 years ago, I would have cried. Back then, I was still the obedient daughter, transferring money into his account every month, funding his debts, cleaning up the messes he left behind. Because that's what good daughters do. But last winter, I found the bank statements. Not mine, his. The man who constantly complained about barely surviving had been draining my transfers into a secret account and paying for a woman's apartment, not my mother's, another woman, younger, pretty. My mother knew. She'd known for years. She just stayed quiet because he kept her under financial control. The night I found out, I didn't scream. I closed the laptop, poured myself a drink, and started thinking. 3. I watched him for months, tracked the lies, the dinners he had with old friends that were actually hotel stays, the way he kept borrowing from relatives, knowing I'd always bail him out. I didn't confront him. Instead, I tightened my grip on his reality. I switched all his bills to accounts I controlled. I let him believe the money was flowing freely. I even increased my help just enough to make him comfortable. Because when you take something away suddenly, people fight. But when you let them lean so heavily on you that you become the floor under their feet, when you finally pull it away, they don't fall. They shatter. 4. The plan was simple. By the time I cut him off, everything would already be gone. Step 1, sell the properties I had put under both our names, quietly transferring my share into my sole ownership first. Step 2, redirect all his credit lifelines so that without me, they'd collapse. Step 3, quietly pay off my mother's debts, move her into an apartment under my name, and give her an escape route he couldn't touch. It took 7 months. 7 months of smiling at family dinners while he bragged about teaching me discipline. 7 months of pretending to be the daughter he could belittle without consequence. And then, tonight came. 5. At the dinner table, I watched him smirk after his little joke. The others shifted awkwardly now, unsure if they should still laugh. "What does that mean?" he asked, his voice losing a fraction of its arrogance. I set my fork down. It made the softest clink against the plate, but in that silence, it sounded like a gun being cocked. "It means," I said, "that as of tomorrow, the electricity bill, the mortgage, your car payment, your phone, none of them will be paid. The accounts are in my name. The money, and it's gone." His jaw twitched. "You wouldn't dare!" I leaned in just slightly, lowering my voice so only he could hear. I already did. 6. His hands tightened around his fork, knuckles pale. I could see the calculations running through his mind. The accounts, the debts, the overdue notices he thought I hadn't seen. And then the realization hit. Without me, everything falls. "I'm still your father," he said, desperate now, quieter. "Exactly," I replied. "And a father protects his family. You sold yours." His face drained of color. The others at the table looked between us, sensing the undercurrent but too afraid to ask. I picked up my wine glass, took a slow sip, and said to the room, Well, looks like the failure is excused from dinner. 7. I walked out without looking back. By the time he got home, the lights wouldn't turn on. The locks would be changed. His name stripped from every account. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel guilt. I felt clean. Because sometimes the only way to stop someone from treating you like nothing is to show them how much nothing feels like. 8. People think revenge is loud, but the most beautiful kind is quiet. It's not screaming in the moment. It's smiling while the ground disappears beneath them, and knowing you were the one who pulled it away. That night, my phone buzzed with messages from my mother. She was already in her new apartment, safe, warm, free. I poured myself another glass of wine and looked out at the city lights. Failure? No. I hadn't lost anything. I'd simply returned what was his. Nothing.